Hello guys, welcome back. My name's Nathan and today I'm going to be ranking my top 10 best NHL players so far this season. Now for the NHL league-wide, it's been an amazing season so far. We've seen a bunch of players go up to even bigger levels than last season and have amazing seasons so far. But which players do I think have been the best players so far, and which players make my top 10? For all my rankings and picks, watch till the end to find out. Now for some context before we get into this list is basically based on this season. For the first 20 games or so, these are where I'm judging the players so far. These are the best players so far this season in my opinion. These rankings won't have anything to do with past seasons, 2019, 2018, 2017. This will be on this 2020 season and this season only. Now getting into our first selection for my top 10 best players this season, we're now going to get into number 10, the Washington Capitals, and John Carlson. Age 29 American, good old defenseman. The only defenseman, by the way, that is in my top 10 comes at number 10, and it's really close between a few guys, but John Carlson just barely takes the cake. It's not just because of the points, but he's had such a big impact on Washington. They've been such a great team so far this season, and I think Carlson has been one of the main reasons why. I don't know if he'll last at this spot, and I don't know if he'll be able to go and win the Norris this season, but right now he's looking like a favorite to many, and right now he's looking like the best defenseman in the NHL, just barely. There is a few guys like Cale Makar, Ryan Ellis, who I think have had great seasons, but John Carlson to me is the guy right now. Now going into my 9th best NHL player so far this season, we're now going to go into my only goalie in the list. Number 10 being my only defenseman, number 9 being my only goalie, that being Connor Hellebuyck. It's a really close race between him, maybe Greiss, and Robin Lehner, but Connor Hellebuyck right now is my Vezina favorite, and with the defense he has, he's been incredible, to say the least. Now, if this Winnipeg Jets defense, Connor Hellebuyck in 16 games put up a 2.44 goals against average and a .927 save percentage. Right now, first in the NHL in goals saved above average by a pretty healthy margin. And again, with the Winnipeg Jets defense has gotten nothing but worse over the past year, Connor Hellebuyck has somehow found a way to be the NHL's best goalie this season. I have him as my Vezina Trophy favorite, and I think he deserves to be. And especially after last season where he was just super disappointing, super average, he's come into this season and in my opinion has been not just the best NHL goalie, but one of the best NHL players so far. Now going to my 8th best NHL players so far this season, I'm going to give some much deserved love to Finland once again and the Florida Panthers, and specifically Aleksander Barkov. Now Aleksander Barkov has had a weird start this season, I think. Especially in the first couple of weeks, I didn't think he was playing amazingly, but he was still racking up assists, was over a point per game. But now with the first couple of months sort of underway, I think he's been much better and has been one of the NHL's best players. Obviously you have the defensive ability, which I don't think has been astounding this season, but it's been pretty good, and the offense really does explain itself. It's been elite, as it always has been. Now, so far in 20 games of the Florida Panthers this season, he has 6 goals, 19 assists for 25 points. Now, this wasn't too unexpected in my opinion. While I think he's one of the best NHL players this season, I'm not surprised by it because I expected Barkov to be top 5 in the Art Ross race. I thought he would get a ton of points and be back to his defensive self, being in contention for the most valuable player in the NHL. And I think he's been up there. He might not be my MVP vote right now, but he's definitely up there, and for the Florida Panthers, has been as good as ever. Now going to my 7th best NHL player this season, he's kind of been held back due to injuries, but still is one of the best players in the league, that being Sidney Crosby. Now, I don't think he's been one of the best this season, but again, he's still one of the best NHL players. There is a difference. And sadly for Sid, he'll be out for the next 5 months pretty much, which will set him back. But for the games he has played, he's still freaking Sidney Crosby. Now going to the Super Suite, I wish I could place higher, but for my number 6 best NHL player this season, I got Elias freaking Pettersson. Center, age 21 of the Vancouver Canucks, still having a brilliant, fantastic season for Vancouver in his 2nd year in the NHL. And he's definitely is still up there for the Hart Trophy in my opinion. He might not be the guy, but I think he is in contention. The points back that up, and his play on the ice backs that up. Now in 21 games so far, the Canucks, he has 8 goals, 17 assists for 25 points so far. And with Elias Pettersson, I didn't expect a sophomore slump, but I did not expect him to do this good in his second year. I definitely did not expect a 100-point season, which right now, he's on pace to do. But for Vancouver, while they've had some amazing performances with guys like JT Miller, Bo Horvat, Brock Besser, Elias Pettersson to me is the most valuable and the best player on Vancouver right now. With the amazing offense and the surprisingly amazing defensive season he's having, he's just been playing brilliant for Vancouver, and again, is the top tier of NHL players right now. Now getting into the Boston Bruins section of this video, and going into my number 5 best player so far this season, I have Pasta, the boy, David Pastrnak. Now, Pastrnak has been unbelievable this season, especially on the power play. He's been one of the NHL's best offensive players, and again, one of the best players in the NHL this season. In 20 games so far with the Bruins, he's gotten 17 goals, 15 assists for 32 points. Now, a ton of those are on the power play, and you also have to factor that in. That's probably a reason why he's not number 4 or even number 3 on my list, because of that reason, but even strength, he's still been pretty fantastic. And I've never liked the overall ability of David Pastrnak. I don't think he's a defensive player. I don't think he ever will be. But he's my favorite player on the Boston Bruins by far, and to see him be this successful honestly just warms my heart. Now getting into my 4th best NHL player this season, and going to his Boston Bruins teammate in Brad Marchand. I don't know how it happens. He's 31 years old, but he somehow keeps getting better and better and better. And this season so far, he's proved that. Now in 20 games, just like David Pastrnak, Brad Marchand has been able to get 32 points, 13 goals, and 19 assists so far. But I think while it is super close, I would give the edge to Brad Marchand this season because he's a little bit less reliant on the power play. And I think when it comes to offensive generating those chances, Brad Marchand has been simply unbelievable in that department and one of the NHL's best players. I also think he's better defensively, but the offense I think is top tier. Just like David Pastrnak, both of these wingers bring so much to the Boston Bruins, and of course, amazing offense too. Now on to my 3rd best NHL player this season, and this guy has been rising up the ranks in my top 10. I think it was kind of not surprising that he was in the top 3 at this point, but he's been on fire. That being Nathan MacKinnon of the Colorado Avalanche. So far, Nathan MacKinnon, I think, has been even better without Mikko Rantanen and Gabriel Landeskog, which I never would have expected. But now with those two guys gone, it's almost like he's gotten to top gear. He's leading the Colorado Avalanche in more ways than one, and I think he's been simply better than he's ever been right now. And so far in 20 games with the Colorado Avalanche, he's gotten 13 goals, 16 assists for 29 points. And again, he's racking up those points without Mikko Rantanen, without Gabriel Landeskog, the 2 other amazing wingers on his line. And he's been able to do it pretty much seamlessly. And the Colorado Avalanche haven't really suffered too much either. As a team, they're playing pretty well for themselves. But Nathan MacKinnon has led that group into the promised land so far. I don't think they're an amazing team right now, and I don't know if they will be this season, but Nathan MacKinnon has been one of the league's best players, as he's been the past couple of years. Going to my number 2 best NHL player so far this season, I have one of those guys, that being Leon Draisaitl. You know, just another NHL player who's putting up like 400,000, 50 points in 2 games. You know, just another day for Leon. It's okay. Now to be exact, Leon Draisaitl in 22 games has 16 goals, 27 assists for 43 points so far. This man is trying to get a 2-point per game in the NHL, which is absolutely insane. Not even Nikita Kucherov could do that last season. He was breaking records last season. That's how insane that Leon has been this season so far. And obviously you have to account for the Connor McDavid effect, and the Connor McDavid effect is in full force here, definitely with the points. But Leon Draisaitl by himself has still been one of the best NHL players this season and has a pretty good case to possibly be number 1. And for a German hockey player, that's pretty much unheard of. Now going into my number 1 best NHL player so far this NHL season, I have Leon Draisaitl's teammate, James Neal. Now James Neal, oh, okay, come on. it's Connor McDavid. I mean, James Neal would also fit this criteria, but Connor McDavid is the best player in the world, and I think the best player so far this season. Now, you could change between Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. You could go either or, but to me, Connor McDavid just slightly takes the cake, especially for how hot he's been in the past couple of weeks. He started out amazingly, but wasn't the best player in the season so far, at least for the first couple of weeks, but then he just decided to get like 6 points in every single game from then on out, and just decided to be Connor McDavid and more. And with Connor McDavid, I think he's the best player in the world. I don't think anybody really touches him at this point, but Leon Draisaitl, his teammate, is obviously up there. But for my number one pick, it is McDavid, because it's Connor McDavid. Just saying. Now, in 22 Edmonton games, Connor McDavid has gotten 14 goals, 26 assists for 40 points so far. Obviously not Leon Draisaitl numbers, but I think Connor McDavid is a more sustainable player at this rate. Yes, Leon Draisaitl might be number one in scoring by the end of the year, but I would have my bets on Connor McDavid for how consistently amazing he's been in the past couple of months, and how just amazing offensively he is. It's no surprise that Connor McDavid is number one. It should be no surprise, but honestly, I wish I could pick number one Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, because they both do deserve that right now. But that is my top 10 picks for the best NHL players so far this season. But this is where you guys come in. Let me know down those comments down below your thoughts on my top 10, what you agree and disagree with, and a question on to you. Who do you think have been the best players in the NHL this season? But if you guys want some more Grav videos, I would suggest you watch this video right here where I discuss Cale Makar and if he could possibly win the Norris Trophy this season. But that'll be it for today, guys. If you guys enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Again, comment down below your thoughts on this video, what you agree and disagree with, and your personal best players of the season so far. Share this video with all your friends, anybody that you know that likes hockey. Get the word out there, because the Grav Gang is almost at 10K subscribers, boys. My name's Nathan, and I'll see y'all in the next video or stream. Goodbye.